Hello, thanks for joining us on the Robertson Report. We're out here with my friend, and I want to introduce Robert Turpin, who's Director of the Marine Resource Department with the county. And we had a ribbon cutting out here the other day and opened this fine facility. And we're going to be talking about that today in more detail, and we're going to be talking about the Crescent Lake dam that is being repaired now and will be filled back up with water for all you residents out there in the near future. But first, Robert, let me ask you, how did this project begin?
The boat ramp project began back in early 2002 when we acquired money through the local option sales tax to buy the property to build boat ramps. We didn't have any boat ramps on the Perdido Bay or Perdido River areas, and we knew that these were water bodies that the public wanted access. So the first thing we had to do was acquire the property.
What were the major funding sources for this project?
The major funding sources were the local option sales tax, as well as the county portion of the vessel registration fees. These are the registration fees that folks pay to register their vessels in Escambia County.
What were some of the challenges that had to be overcome?
Some of the challenges included the houses that were here. We actually bought these properties that had houses on them, so the houses had to be removed. And then we had to get the environmental permitting through the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, as well as the Army Corps of Engineers. And of course, they had to be engineered so that we had the right slope, angles, had to be compliant with the ADA requirements, the Americans with Disabilities Act requirements, and other utilization features. The site had to be configured so that it was useful for a boat ramp and then give us enough parking.
How does this project fit into the overall regional waterway assessment sites in our county?
Not only do we have a boat ramp here that gets us access to this major artery on Escambia County's western border, but also this is part of the paddle trail. The Water Management District owns several large parcels upstream from this, so this is a perfect takeout point for those who want to start up at Fillingem or the Pipes or Sand Landing. And then for those folks that want to go into Perdido Bay, this is a great way for smaller vessels to access upper Perdido Bay.
What are the next steps of things that are going to happen out here on this project?
Only 4 of the parcels have been built upon here, and we also have two additional parcels on the eastern portion of the property that we will be developing into a picnic pavilion, a place for fishing tournaments, for family reunions, a place for people just to get out and enjoy nature. We also have a fishing access pier that we would like to build, and because we have a canoe launch, we expect there to be other passive utilization of this facility.
What else is planned for District 1 in water resources in this county?
In addition to this public boat ramp and canoe launch, we're also looking for additional parcels down in Perdido Bay, but the biggest project that we have is the design, engineering, and permitting on a brand new boat ramp on Perdido Bay that will be the downstream companion to this boat ramp here. That boat ramp will be on Perdido Bay just east of Heron Bayou, and it has plenty of uplands for a park or any other amenities to get people in our great outdoors.
And next we'll be at Crescent Lake, where we'll talk about the dam out there and the effects it's had on the residents and the length of time it's taken to repair that, and we'll go over that with you and try to bring you more up to date out there about that project. And I'm Wilson Robertson, County Commissioner, District 1, and thank you again for joining us on the Robertson Report. We're now out here at Crescent Lake, and I want to talk a little bit about this project. It's a huge lake. It serves drainage for the whole surrounding community, including Marcus Point, Crescent Lake East and West. And so it serves a public purpose. It blew out in 2014 of April when we had the big flood. And the residents and I and our staff didn't know what to do. So we decided we needed to do something, so we asked the residents to give us an easement, which they did. So we're working on public property. We got the Natural Resource Conservation Services to agree to chip in 75% of the cost. And it's definitely something needs to be done. And I've got with me, going to join me, Jeremy King. And Jeremy is the project manager out here with Escambia County. And Jeremy, give us a lot of the facts of the project out here, if you will, the history and so forth.
Sure. The lake is 130 acres. It has about 4,600 acres of uplands that drain into it. So it has a big drainage basin. The dam itself was built in the 60s, and it's failed twice in the past. It's failed in 1969 and then again in 2014. The repair that we have planned is nothing like it's had before. It's something that'll protect the dam, it'll protect everybody downstream. And
the beauty part about it, Jeremy, I hate to butt in,
sure,
but it's not going to be just a grassy dirt knoll like it was, which is subject to explode or break again.
Correct.
What this is going to have is not only the grassy dam, but it's going to have a section of it that's concrete that'll be a spillway, that if we ever have another flood, the excess water will flow over rather than break the dam.
Right. That's the point. It'll control it. It'll meter it and control it, and it's designed to accept that type of flow, and we won't have these kind of issues again.
Yeah, and what happened is, most of our viewers know, and I know you know, Jeremy, all of the water that came up from all back up there, even as far back as the DOT holding pond that overflowed, we had massive amounts of water that came down the hill. So we're removing a lot of that sediment also, as well as repairing the dam. And I know you know that we had many houses that just collapsed under that flood. It was a terrible flood, the worst in the last 100 or 200 years. It's going, as I said earlier, I think you mentioned $865,000. We're only paying $25,000 or 25% of that. Utility Services Company, which is a great company in town, was the low bidder. They're doing the work. And by the way, for you that have been wondering, it'll be completed in next month of this year. So this dam will be finished. It'll take a time to finish the sediment removal before the dam can be fully refilled. But I'm telling my residents and friends all around this neighborhood, this thing should be full of water before the end of the year, right?
Yes, it should.
Okay. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for joining us again. And I hope you are aware now of the Crescent Lake Dam that I've been asked about a lot, because it's not visible to most people around town.